A little bit of the remix version there, Terry, to get us started.
Yeah, I can tell that.
Yeah, I accidentally, instead of clicking one link to put our pictures up, I hit the end. So trying to end the show before it starts, Terry.
Well, with all the scratches, that might be the way to go.
Yeah, the funny thing is, last night when I was looking at the weather forecast, they said it was supposed to be sunny and beautiful today, and then out of nowhere, rain, I guess,
Yeah,
unexpectedly in the Delaware Park area. So if you got some unexpected rain in Delaware Park, it's you can blame Terry and I, because whenever we go somewhere, sometimes the or clouds follow.
that's right. Yep, absolutely.
Yes, indeed. So kind of an interesting day yesterday at Parks. I mentioned that trying to qualify. I did make it for a test run on Friday to see if I can finally make it to Vegas. We've tried that I don't know how many times, Terry, and it reminds me of my golf game. I get out on the range, I hit the ball, man, I look like Tiger Woods.
Oh, yeah.
I get out on the course, I look like I've never played before.
Yeah. Well, usually, though, those second rounds have, 300 to 500 people in them. So it's really, if you can make it, you've done a really good job. So,
Yeah, I mean, we've made a bunch of them so far. I've won, one of those with the 500 people in there for money, but not for the trip to Vegas. I'd be glad to flip the two around. I'll give them their money back if they'll let me go to Vegas.
yeah, I've gotten as close as I think in like 15th place or something, but that's as close as I've gotten.
Yeah, it's a fun, tough game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend who we use, but when we reached out to see if they wanted to be a sponsor of the show, we got a terse reply. So I won't use any names, but anyway.
Yeah.
So we're off to Delaware Park today, Terry, on this hump day.
That's right.
Wednesday. And tomorrow we'll be back. We're going to do Horseshoe, Indianapolis tomorrow because Belmont's not running. A lot of the big tracks that ran on Independence Day are taking Thursday off. So we'll go ahead and knock those out from there. Morning. How are you guys doing today? Pickling dudes? Piking dudes.
Picking dudes. Picking.
Oh, picking.
You forgot the C.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens. I was going to pikers were pikers. I mean, when I was a kid, a piker was the fighting words, Mike.
He's like me. I forget C's and things and forget to take numbers out of my pick fours and all that stuff. So.
Oh, yes. Well, I endure that. So I'm able to live with it, Terry.
I checked that 3 times. Boy, I'll tell you, getting old isn't very easy.
Yes, so. Mick Jagger had it right. Getting old is a drag. That's for sure.
It is, yeah.
All right. So he also got it right being a singer and not a horse racing handicapper. You ever hear the story about how he got into the Rolling Stones?
No.
So he was going to the School of London Economics to be, I think, an accountant or something along those lines. But he had an interest in music. And he saw this really peculiar looking character on the train station carrying a guitar. And that peculiar looking person on the train station stop was Keith Richards.
Oh.
So they started talking and then they formed a band. Can you believe that?
No.
From an accountant to one of the greatest rock and roll stars ever, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, the fickled finger. You know what it is for me? It's the fat finger, the fat finger typing. I hit so many times. I hit like 2 or 3 letters at a time. It drives me bananas.
Me too.
All right, so let's see if we can not drive people bananas with our picks today, Terry. So race number 1, 5 furlongs, maiden claiming $25,000. There's really only one horse in here that has experience after scratches. Everybody else is a first-time starter. This is my long shot of the day, Terry. I'm going to start right off in here because you just don't know what you're going to get with these things, these first-time starters. So I'm going to go with Dragon Run as my first-time starter. I think he's 8-1 morning line. Probably going to drop a bit because of scratches, but he does have the bullet workout and go. And as I mentioned before, with the bullet and workout and go, that is one of those alpha angles that hits at more than 15%. So maybe he can get out and hit at an alpha angle. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, that could happen, I guess. I actually like the number 4, who has experience. Dreams Delivered. He ran 3rd versus similar in his last race. In his only start at Laurel Park, he switches to a high percentage winning jockey and has a trainer who wins 31% of the races when he brings a horse back for the second career race. Then I like number 3, Getting Down on It. He is a first-time starter whose dams has 2 winners and 2 starters, and the breeding suits today's distance.
Who is that? Casey and the Sunshine Band? Get down on it. Come on, baby. Let's get down on it. What do you guys think? Should I head off to the America's Got Talent, the X Factor? Which one?
No, I don't think so. I think you should just keep doing the horses. Anyway, number 5, the Great Pumpkin. He is a first-time starter whose breeding suits today's distance. He has a trainer who wins 24% of the dirt starts that he's got a horse in, and he has a really good workout on June 25th. And then I like your long shot, number 2, Dragon Run. He is a first-time starter whose dam has a winner from 1 starter, and the breeding suits today's distance, and he has that nice bullet workout June 25th.
So a quick question for you. I put Dragon Run here because anything could happen in these baby races, Terry, where only one horse has some experience. As I mentioned, Dragon Run's got that bullet and go workout, so we'll see if that translates. If he can take his game from the range to the course. The Great Pumpkin, Terry, which cartoon is that from?
Oh, from geez.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
Mike Watkins forgot a letter that it starts with.
Yeah. I can see them all. I can see the guy that's got the blanket.
The dog.
The dog. Snoopy. Yeah.
Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. The Great Pumpkin has also got a what we call around here the Eddie C angle from our spot play shows on Saturday at 9 a.m. Make sure you check that out. But the Great Pumpkin, the Eddie C angle is a bullet workout, then a maintenance, and then go to the track. But the other workouts aside from the 1-2 back were also pretty good. So I think you're going to see the Great Pumpkin get off to a great start. Dreams Delivered is that horse, Terry, with the experience. He started slow in his last race, rushed up, and then faded at the end. I look at the workout between races. It doesn't give me any hope that he's going to get off to a faster start, though that experience could work out. Yesterday, that one horse at Parks, the only one that had experience, he actually did get out and hold on, right? Getting down on it. Gotta feel it. Anyway, some good workouts get ready. Nice workout on April the 30th. And this trainer, Mark Beecher, has only run twice so far at Delaware. You know how many he's won, Terry? Both. He's muted.
Okay. Both.
Yes, okay. All right, so race number 2, as we look at the Delaware card, is 6 furlongs, optional claiming $44,000. That's a $40,000. Yeah, purse of $33,000. So far at Delaware, they have run 43 races at 6 furlongs, 32 of which were won by horses, and the first 3 at the first call. 17 of the 43 led from gate to wire. There is a strong rail bias at 6 furlongs, but you get a 2 or 3 and you get a slight discount. A little bit of bonus if you go 4 through 7, and nobody has won from 8 or out yet. And this one is my best bet of the day, Mama G's Wish. This horse has been first or second in 9 of the last 10 races. Lone Miss was a rout at $100,000 non-graded stakes. All others where it did finish first or second were sprints just like today. And when I did my initial, as we talked a little bit about yesterday, quantitative rankings, the numbers, this one is leaps ahead of everybody else in terms of that ranking system. So I made it my best bet of the day. Terry, you also like it as your first pick.
I do. Mama G's Wish, she won her last race at Delaware Park, and the rail post is winning at a 27% clip. And she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 4 is my second pick, Date Night Kisses. She ran second versus similar in her last race at Laurel Park. And at today's distance, she has the highest last race speed rating tied actually with another horse. And she has a trainer jockey combination that in the last 14 days have finished in the money 13 times and won 9 of those races. And then she has a good workout on June 30th. Then number 2, Cocoa Puff. She comes in from Churchill Downs after winning her last race by a whopping 10 lengths and has the highest last speed rating, tied with the number 4 horse. And number 5.
Quick question for you on Cocoa Puffs, Terry. The cereal or the chocolate milk afterwards?
I like the chocolate milk afterwards.
All right. There's finally a normal answer from you.
And then number 5 is my fourth pick, Jeremy. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and she has a decent workout.
All right, so I mentioned why I like the one horse in here, Mama G's Wish, as my best bet of the day. So I have a long shot best bet daily double to get it cracking. We'll see if it plays out that way. Behind Mama G's Wish, I do like Date Night, Kisses, Laurel Park dropper in here. Did tie for the top last race speed figure at Laurel Park, and I expect that you'll see that number probably rise at Delaware Park. Joe Mike Kim. It was a tough call to put this one second, third, or fourth with the 2-horse Cocoa Puff. But this one has better early speed at the distance and surface that favor speed and gets a weight break on top of it. So I do like when you match up speed, or at least when you're relative to another horse, and then you get the weight break in there as well. Cocoa Puff, as you mentioned, does come in from Churchill Downs, Terry, but the horse took 12 times to break its maiden. That last time out was a 10 length win, as you mentioned, on the lead. I just don't know that it's going to have a crack at getting the lead today like it did. And we saw that yesterday, too, with a horse that took quite a few times to break its maiden and then came out and threw a dud. So I don't know that one has anything to do with the other. Probably not, but too fresh in my mind, right? Outside Post concerns me in race 3 will be a board favorite 11. Race number 3, Terry and I both like the 11. And that is let's talk about the track. This was supposed to be a mile and a 16th on the turf, but the turf races have been moved to dirt. So we won't talk much about the profile of a winner because we did the profile of a winner for the turf racing. But what I do have here is my box it up. I'm getting all of the good stuff out of the way today, Terry, in race 3. So my box it up, where we take 4 horses, we put them together in exacta box, trifecta box, superfecta box. I'm going to kick it off with number 11, just as Charles B. said, blowing some big smoke. He's going to blow out a big speed figure here. Last time out, he ran the top last race speed figure. You have the combination of Jaime Rodriguez and Jamie Ness. The transposition of the I always screws me up with those two. But when Jaime and Jamie get together, J&J, they win at 30%. Last time out, blowing smoke did run some slightly better fractions at 1 mile and 70 yards on turf than 1 mile on dirt. So I'd like to see that improvement. Only Child had to run wide for a lot of his last start. Did show some late leg improvement in that race. It's going to get a weight break here as well. And I have a feeling, from our conversation with jockey Maddie Rowland, she's going to get the max effort out of this horse here. Number 3, Two-Step Dance, consistent performer. It doesn't have a lot of upside in here, but in terms of its ability, but it also doesn't have a lot of downside in it. So you get the same race out of it all the time. I think the last 3 races for this horse are probably good enough to hit the board. But as our friend Tom Diemel says, win? Nah, probably not. And then finally, I'm going to close out my box it up with number 10, Mercury 10. This one ran on turf last time out. It's going to flip back over to grass. To dirt, where he's got a pair of seconds in his last 2 starts. All right, Terry.
I'm going to start out with a number 11 like you and blowing big smoke. He finished third versus similar in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and a trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days, as I said, won 9 out of 17 races. Number 3, Two-Step Dance, my second pick. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has a highest last race speed rating, actually tied with the 11. And then number 10, Mercury 10, is my third pick. His best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 7 is my fourth pick, Only Child, may improve in the third start off of a layoff.
Charles says we better have the 1A and the exotics underneath in this race, Terry, race number 3. I don't have him. You don't have him either. So no. Charles, hopefully he comes in fourth for the superfecta. I mentioned during the course of the comments there about Maddie Rowland being one of the guests that we had on the Horse Center show. Mm-hmm. And last night we had on Alice Beckman, a young aspiring jockey as well. Terry, I'm not sure. Did you get a chance to take a look at that show?
I did. Yeah, I did. And I liked it. She's sounds very positive, and I think she's going to do well with her career. So
She was very enthusiastic. She said when she was a little girl, she wanted to be like what did she call it? Like a circus rider or something like that. So I can't imagine with the white horses jumping through the hoops of fire. Thoroughbred racing, I guess, at times is probably similar to jumping through hoops of fire. Then Jamie Martinez mentioned she's got a lot of courage because she's always splitting horses and hugging the rail. So if you haven't had a chance, go on over to Horse Racing Radar TV, check that out. And then tonight, you'll make sure you want to join us. We have another guest on at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is Peter, the Greek. We're just going to go with that. Paganosius Siphoniphius. I probably screwed that up so badly. We'll get the proper pronunciation tonight. But he's a young, aspiring trainer. Met Sean out at Penn National for the Penn Mile Night. So he's got a lot of enthusiasm. And it's always good to get the young people in the sport front and center. And we'll be doing that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Horse Center show. So make sure you check that out right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. While you're at Horse Racing Radar TV, please click the subscribe button, hit the bell so that when we go live, you are notified. And you can see on the scroller below all of our social sites. The handles are the same. Horse Race, the number 2, and then day, Horse Race today. Make sure you sign up for all of that. All right, Terry. Since we got all of that stuff out of the way, race number 4, we're gonna tackle another task here, Terry. It is your best bet at Delaware Park, but you also have a best bet today at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. How did your stuff do yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday they canceled the races at Horseshoe Indianapolis, so my best bets didn't do anything.
Did great.
Yeah.
No news is good news.
Yeah, my wife said the same thing. She said, "Oh, good. you won't lose the race," he said. I like Horseshoe Indianapolis again today since they did that yesterday. Race 5, I like the number 9, No Brag, Just Fact. He has won 2 of the last 3 races, likes the turf, winning 6 starts, and the distance where he's won 4 starts, and he has the highest speed figure today's distance. Then number 3 is Firewater Jake. He finished second versus similar in his last race and has a good 4 furlong workout on June 27th. And then number 2, Counter Offer is my third pick. He closed to finish third versus similar in his last race and has the best turf speed among today's starters.
All right, so that's Terry's best bet. You can get it every day at horseracingtoday.net. And while you're there, please kindly click on the HRT gear over here. We put together some new designs, at least a new design there, the Horse Racing Today. I really like that logo in there a lot. It's a great way to support the show, and you'll look fantastic at the track as well. And Terry and I would greatly appreciate your help in that regard. All right, Terry, so now we're going to head off back to the track after all of that self-promotion. Race number 4 is 1 mile and 70 yards. It is on the dirt course, excuse me. It was scheduled to be on the dirt course as well. 1 mile and 70 yards. They've done it 14 times, 10 of which were won by speed. 4 went wire to wire. Post 1 through 3, man, they really suffer. Only 3 winners out of the 10 races so far. All the others were between posts 4 through 7, and the 4 horse in here, Warcross, is your best bet.
Yeah, and maybe we should show our pick, hot dog pick 4, because there's only about 11 minutes left before the races.
Anyway, we'll just run through your best bet real quick, and then I'll pull it up.
All right, so my best bet in this race, which is, of course, the 4th race, is Warcross. Won 2 races in a row, has the highest last race speed rating, drops in class today, and the trainer wins 33% of the races with horses coming back after a 90-day being away. So
90 days in the barn, it comes back and wins pretty heftily. All right, so here is our hot dog pick 4, which starts in race number 1. It's a $20 budget. Terry and I are both under budget today, Terry. Kind of thought similarly in here a little bit, but I just didn't single the guy at the end.
Yeah, I singled it because it is my best bet, and I felt like that 3rd race was pretty wide open. So,
all right. So I did not make any singles in here, but I did put my long shot in there on my my hot dog, hoping to catch a couple of prices in these short fields. My fear is today could go kind of chalky. A lot of times on these off tracks, what you find happening are horses that get to the front and then don't give it up. All right. Tell us about the rest of your picks in race 4.
Okay, I like number 7, Lake Nakuro. Closed in the last race to finish 5th at Park Racing and is trying Delaware Park for the first time and can improve while returning to dirt. Then I like number 5 as my third pick. Minecrafter is won at race at Delaware Park in the past, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like as my fourth pick, number 6, Market Mover. He drops in class today, can improve while returning to dirt, and at the shorter distance, he'll have a better time. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with Minecrafter.
Mm-hmm. So Charles mentions he doesn't understand the suspicious drop on that 4-horse there, Warcross. He's been in the barn since October, mid-October, so that's probably why they're dropping him a little bit. If he does run to his ability, he could make easy work of this crew. I feel like the workout suggests he'll be ready, and the horse is 2 for 2 at the distance. So I think probably just all that time in the barn, maybe a little bit rusty, maybe not at the same form it had before it went out. Number 2, Sunny Saint is my second choice in here. It's dropping from a straight 12-5 claimer instead of a non-winners of 3. Last race at Tampa before coming up north to Delaware Park had early pace numbers that, quite frankly, would smoke this field if he can repeat those numbers. I'm expecting a really nice move forward from Sunny Saint in race number 2. Minecrafter, last 4 races are absolutely terrible. I mean, terrible. But it is dropping to the lowest level since winning the maiden race. Best workout in a while, too, on June 8th, so hinting that the horse is maybe regaining its form and sitting on a good race in this spot. Number 3, Urban Warrior, was a tough call for me over your 7, Lake Nakaruru. But I'll take the 3 off the break, the third layoff off the break versus Lake Nakaruku, who I originally was looking at him on a fast track, 7 times out, only 1 win. But the horse has not fared well on dirt at all or at the distance. He's ran at the distance 6 times and only has a third in there for Lake Nakaruru. So I went with Urban Warrior on top of that. Race number 5 is the next race on the card. It is I put the race 6, got to press the right buttons, Rich. Race 5 is 7.5 furlongs, probably going to be 7 furlongs, I would guess, on the dirt since it got moved off of the turf, claiming 16,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime. And this one is your long shot, Terry. So you're also doing the best bet long shot double today.
Yeah, that's right. And it may not be a long shot now with all the scratches, but I like number 12, Kind of Lucky. There is a very early speed. There's a lot of very early speed in this race, and so she may get the lead and go all the way.
Speed of the speed, baby.
That's right. She has won 2 races in a row, then took a break since last October and has the highest last race speed rating. Drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like number 2, New York Rockstar. She has finished 3rd in her last 2 races and has a trainer jockey combination, as I've said 2 or 3 times, that has won 9 out of 17 races. Then number 8, third pick, Lightfoot Miss. She finished in the money in the last 7 races. She won 2 of those and has a really good jockey. And then number 11, Esta Chuck. She closed the winner last race at Delaware Park and may be ready to do that again.
All right, so I'm going to start race number 5 off with Kind of Lucky as well. Kind of Lucky, as you mentioned, is undefeated in 2 very easy wins at Delaware Park. They were on the turf course, though, so this one's flipping over to the dirt. Been on the lead in all 4 of their turf starts. A neck away from winning 3 or 4. That hasn't had the same sort of performance on the dirt courses. So the 12 is going to have to get to the lead to get the job done here. The number 2, New York Rockstars, burned a lot of money as the favorite lately, at least in the last 2 starts. Better speed numbers last out, but fractions were about the same. I think maybe the 3rd time is the charm after 16 months on the sidelines prior to the first 2 races. So maybe just taking a couple races to find that form. This is the one that scares me the most in here is Mizzen. Last time out, he was really good across the board on the slop. And I think you might see another really good effort on the messy track. from Mizzen. And then like you, Terry, I also like the 8 horse in here as my final play in race number 5. The horse, was a main track only entrant. So obviously the trainer Dale Capuano kind of circled the spot just in case he can get the horse in there. Has not run on an off track yet, but had a lot of success on a fast track, hitting the board in 9 of 12. Does catch a weight break here with Jan Alves as the jockey, but doesn't really have a lot of opening speed in here, not a lot of back speed in there. And I kind of like in the sloppy track horses that can get a little bit closer to the front. Charles says, I prefer the 2 horse in race 5 inside post. Yeah, I like the 2 horse as well in that respect. But the one that does really frighten me in here is that 7 horse, and that's why I put him in there. All right, race 6, Terry. No more box it ups or any of that sort of stuff. So race 6 is a 1 mile race on the main track so far at Delaware Park on 1 mile, 24 times. 15 have gone to horses that like to get to the front or towards the front anyway. Only 2 of those 15, however, led from gate to wire. So it looks like tactical speed, not absolute front end speed, is the way to win at a mile. You just have 1 win in 24 races from the rail, so you do not want the rail as your top choice. 2 and 3 also underperform. So, of course, I start with the 1, 2, 3. How about that? You get a little bit of a bonus with 4 and out. You like the 2 horse, Terry. Kenner as your top choice.
I do. Kenner finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then my second choice is number 5, Union Fleet. He won his last race easily at Delaware Park and has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 3 is my 3rd pick, Rusty's Give a 550. He has won 2 out of the last 4 races, finished in 2nd versus similar in his last race, and he has the highest last race speed rating. And then number 1 is my 4th pick, T Win a Lot Pass. T Win a Lot of Pass. He has won 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick now, and switches to a high percentage winning jockey.
So good news, Terry. Charles says the track is drying and has been upgraded to fast. So that's a positive in there. Yeah, and like I said, I was looking at the weather forecast still says rain today and tomorrow. So I think it'll probably be overcast and all that kind of stuff over there in Delaware. But at first it was supposed to be sunny all day today. So who knows? The weatherman, it's a job we should get there. Rusty's, yeah, whatever. GF, okay, it's G550. Rusty's G5 must be a car or something. But anyway, did run the top last race speed figure. Does have a maintenance workout since that race and is a nose away from winning 3 of the last 4. And the horse has 2 races at the distance, collecting a win and a second. You know, the Terry angle is in the play here with Kenner. Kenner is Jamie Ness had a couple of horses in this spot, right, as an entry. Oh, and he scratched one and went with the other. So the 2 horse, Kenner, with the Jamie Ness, Jaime Rodriguez combination, we talked about how fantastic they are. So a horse that last time out ran some much, much better pace figures for the first half mile of the race. That's always an indication of a horse on the upswing, at least most of the time it is. T Win Not Pass. I don't know. Tweeny Not Pass, I guess. I don't know. Horse did win last time out at Churchill Downs, claiming 20,000. Put together 2 wins in a row with that effort. Could be close to the pace, right off the pace. And this is a horse that I think should see some continued improvement. Although last time out, there was a little bit of regression in the first part of the race, but it did pick up the effort in the back half. And then finally, number 5 is my final choice in race. What are we in race number 6, right, Terry? I keep forgetting to put these up here so we know what race we're on. Race number 6, the 5 horse, is Union Fleet, is stepping up from the maiden claiming win with a very strong late pace advance. Decent workout between races. And if you look at this jockey, Jorge Ruiz, guy doesn't ride a whole lot. He's only ridden 10 times so far. And he's got 6 wins in those 10 races in a couple of seconds. So that's a pretty stiff record there from Mr. Jorge Ruiz. Race 7, as we go closer to the end of the card here, Terry. Let me just pull this up, race 7, so we can keep track of where we are. Race 7 is, come on now, cooperate, computer. Race 7 is a 7.5 furlong race. Probably going to be 7 furlongs. Was supposed to be on the turf. It is the Peach Blossom Stakes, and if you watch the show many times, you know my dog's name is Peach, so I'm going to dominate this race, Terry. I have the 8 horse. You don't even have the 8 horse. I think you might want to reconsider that.
You might be right about that, but anyway, in this race, I like number 1, cashing big checks, is what I like to do. She closed at 6 furlongs to just miss by a neck in her first.
You know
race
who else
back.
likes you cashing big checks, Terry?
My wife,
Honey Bunny.
That's right. Anyways, she closed at 6 furlongs to miss by just a neck in her first race back after an 8-month break, and now she stretches out to 7.5 furlongs. And she has a trainer jockey in the last 14 days, as I've said numerous times, has won 9 out of 17 races, 2 seconds, 2/3. Number 2, Texas Reward. She finished 3rd in her only turf race, trying turf again today, although we're off the turf, so it doesn't matter.
Nope.
Number 9, Murph. She has a high percentage winning trainer, has the highest last speed rating, and a good workout at June 26th. And then number 4 is my 4th pick, Quiet Imagination. She comes in from Laurel Park to try Delaware Park for the first time and has improved her speed ratings in each of the last 3 races.
You missed a Malibu Beauty in here, Terry, and I hope for you that you're right. I'm wrong, but Malibu Beauty, when I analyzed the pace numbers, this one should have a 1 to 2 length lead coming out of the turn. But there's really only other 1 speed horse in here, and the 2 horses that have speed should be clear. I hope they don't just go stupid and get into a speed duel. They could probably run 75, 80% of what they normally do up on front and still have a comfortable lead over the rest. The other horse that has some really pace in here is Murph. So I think it's really kind of a 2-horse race between Murph and Malibu Beauty. Murph being the other speed horse in a really robust, strong workout on June the 26th. Yeah, the only problem for me with Murph and why I didn't put it ahead of the 8 horse is because the horse is yet to win in the first start after a little bit of time away. Number 1, cashing big checks. Terry could cash a big check here today. Was much, and I mean much better in the early part of her last race. And as you mentioned, put together 3 consecutive speed figure increases. So looking to make it 4 in a row in here. And then we're going to close it out with Quiet Imagination. Quiet Imagination did like an off track. I know it's been upgraded to fast, but did improve in the second half of its last race. And I think this one will be as good, maybe a touch better in the 3rd start off the layoff. And then the last race of the day, Terry, again, 1 mile. It is a 24 times they've tried the distance. 15 have been won from off of the pace. Only 2 of which went wire to wire. So you want something with a little late legs in there. Nothing is won from just 1 from the rail. 2 and 3 underperform as well. And the farther you get outside, the better off you are. So what do, Terry? We go stocking up our horses on the inside.
That's right. And let me say about Murph, I considered Murph. He had 3 bullet workouts in a row. The only problem is that she hasn't won since last August. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens there.
So my 2 didn't fire. I'm 4.35 at race 1 at Delaware Park. I was trying to catch a long shot there on that first time race, but all right.
Oh, I got it right in a row then. 4.35. Okay.
Let me pull up your box it up.
Yep.
There's your box it up, Terry. Take it away.
All right. I like BB Bad, number 1. He tried turf and didn't fare well. So we're good. We're off the turf. And he returns to dirt where he can be more competitive. Drops in class today. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a really good jockey trainer, and I've said this over and over, who's won 9 out of 17. And then number 3 is my second pick, Event Party. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And the trainer wins 18% of the time when he has an entry in a route race. And then number 4, Hefner. Returning to a route should help, and the trainer wins 18% of the races when shipping a horse into race. And then number 5 is my 4th pick, Lifespan. He finishes 2nd in his last race, winning the race before that. He has done well at Delaware Park in the past, and the distance will not be a problem.
All right. So the final race picks for me in race number 8, I'm going to start it off with Hefner. And I feel like Hefner is the most likely in this group to get the lead and does have some really nice fast workouts in between races. Maybe that'll be the long shot that comes in for me. Number 3, Event Party is my second choice in here. Dropping in class, did improve in its last start, which I like to see. 2 really nice workouts between the races. And I think the one's probably going to show more off those workouts in race number 3 off the bench. Bad. I think that's how they pronounce that one, Terry. It's a throwback to George Thorogood. Bad to the bone. Do you remember that song or not? Probably not.
I do.
All right. Bad is Jamie Ness, Jaime Rodriguez combination. There you see those men again coming out to the track. They win at a 30% clip. This one, that combination needs to be respected, but it is going to be one that is coming from off the pace as well. So it does fit the bias as well. And then finally, number 2, just straight up Vinny. Does have some back speed and won his only time out on an off track. It's not an off track because it did get upgraded, but that race was by far its best effort. So maybe you'll see a return if the track's not thoroughly dried out for Vinny in there. But the other choice from there possibly was Chief Cheetah, but it's a toss up at the end of those races. As Terry mentioned, the first race is done. 2 horse left behind, bad break, too much to do, speed duel between 4 and 3, 4 prevailed. All right, well, maybe you get a bad break and screws your race up when you're one of those youngsters. They don't really like to follow up.
The jockey actually had to pull up a little bit, so kind of hurt right there. Maybe watch it for next time.
That's one of those things where, it's horse racing, right? Stuff happens at the beginning, in the middle, and the end of the races. I don't know if you saw a video the other day, Terry. There was a guy who was out on the lead by about 12 lengths, and then he hit his horse with the whip. The horse that wasn't having it, kind of bucked, threw him off, and the jockey hit the rail. And
wow!
You didn't see that video?
No.
Yeah, so imagine you're sitting on that horse. I think it was like 6-1 too. Clear winner. Wow. I mean, the horse could have literally walked to the finish line from where it was. And then I just didn't I guess he wasn't expecting it. So, All right, here are our full picks again. You can see the best bet for me is coming up in race number 2. My long shot, as they said, got off to a bad start. Didn't work out in race number 1. Terry's best bet's race number 4. Also has a best bet today over at horseracingtoday.net for Horseshoe Indianapolis. Terry's long shots race number 5, the 12 horse. Our box it ups look like this. Mine's coming up in race number 3. Terry's is going to close the card out on the day. If you have not done a pick 4 in the early part, here are our hot dog pick 4s. We're both still alive. And going through the rest of the card, Terry soloing the 4 there. Perhaps if you haven't done the pick 4, you might think about the pick 3 going forward, rolling doubles, and then our prime ribs to close them out at the end of the day. I think Terry just went all in races 5, 6, and 7 because there's not a lot of horses in those races, and then he closed it out with the 1 and the 3. Do I have that right, Terry?
Actually, yes, you do. I thought that pick 4 in the last 3 races were really wide open. So, that's how come I went that way. Sometimes you get a good price, and you can end up getting a pretty good payoff doing that. So.
Indeed. So, all right. Well, hopefully that works out for you, Terry. Mike, I'm just $4 cheaper. Maybe I should have done the same thing that you did, but I'm hoping to catch some prices in there as well, somewhere along the line, to close out the pick 4. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here on this hump day?
Yeah, I was thinking you were telling that story about that horse. I saw a race the other day. It reminded me of Silky Sullivan, and I don't know if you saw it. The horse broke really bad. I mean, it broke 4 or 5 lengths behind everybody else. Kind of hopped out of the gate, come out late, and that horse went ahead and coming into the stretch. He moved up. Then he had horses in front of him. He moved out to the outside, and he closed like a freight train to win by like 3 lengths going away. It was absolutely fantastic. So
closed anyway, like 30,000 pounds of bananas without any breaks in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's probably right. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. I played some of the contests today. So I'm hoping that does well. I didn't do very well yesterday on the contest. I'm
Happens.
going to do a lot better today, I'm sure.
That's right. Positive attitude.
That's right.
If you see it, you can achieve it.
That's right. And I look forward to tonight's show and tomorrow night's show. If you like what you've seen here, please subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell so that you get notified when we go on, and then go to our social outlets of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and they're at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a like or a thumbs up.
Indeed, we appreciate that.
Yeah,
indeed, 100% we do.
That's right. Have a good week, everybody.
You mentioned tomorrow night. Horseshoe Indianapolis has their big weekend of racing this week on this Saturday, and our guest is going to be the track announcer, John Dooley, which is always kind of a weird experience for me, being that I would go to Arlington Park and you'd hear his voice just like echoing in the air. But you never saw it. It's like a voice coming down from on the heavens, and now he's in front of us. So certainly you want to want to check that out. Tom and I will be back for 4 on Fridays, as always, at 1 o'clock Eastern. You're going to want to see that. You will also want to check out the new show with Eddie C. and Chris P. They're killing it with their spot play. So if you're going to do some spot plays on Saturday, you might want to look at that. And then today, if you're going to look at Thistle Downs as part of your betting routine, make sure you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description, both on Facebook and on YouTube. Hit that, and you will see our free picks today for Thistle Downs. Please use the links in the descriptions because that way they know where the traffic is coming from. Hopefully, Mustang Willie won that first race over there at Thistle Downs today. That does wrap up today, Terry. You and I will be back tomorrow to cover Horseshoe Indianapolis until we meet either tonight, again at 8 o'clock with Peter. Not even going to try to butcher up that last name again. Or tomorrow with Terry and I for Horseshoe Indianapolis. No matter what you do on this hump day, we certainly hope it's a fantastic day that ends up in
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Wednesday.